Good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing? It's Sunday chat. We're back here again. It doesn't feel that long ago, does it, that we were we were doing this? But it was 2 weeks ago. So how's everyone doing? How's everyone going? It's going all right here. I'm sort of chugging along as normal, just waiting for a few things to crop up. And we've got some stuff to discuss tonight, which is good. But yes, how's everyone? Everyone else is doing? Hi, Jay. How's it going? Hi, Jay. Yeah. Steve, how's it going, Steve? Scott. Hi. Ian. Hi, sir. How are you? And Greg as well. Hi, Greg. Hi, Mark. Fantastic, to be honest. Good to hear. John. Hi, John. How's it going? Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, just you know, chugging along as it is. Hi, Roger. How's it going? What's been going on? Oh, hang on. John's just messaged. Lancaster Bonder is going to be launched later this year, Kevin. Yes, I think so. Remember their windows. So they normally bring out and trial all their builds between September and April. So between that space, that's when we get a lot of the builds. So if it does come out this year, it'll be September, October, November time, so along there. So yes, it'll be towards the end of the year, I would imagine. But I also there's a few things that are being tested, a few things coming out in February as well. So yeah, so let's get on it. So the alien build I'm doing at the moment, it gets released here in February. Not entirely sure what date, but it does get released in February. I think the 7th of February, I think the new Warhammer one comes out. That's coming out in February, and I do believe in March, Hachette are bringing out the D&D part work, the Dungeons and Dragons part work. So it works similar to the sort of Warhammer one, is that you get little figurines to paint, and it obviously tells you and shows you how to play the D&D game. I don't really know if it's coming with like a big book or what. I don't really know, but I know that is definitely coming out over the next 2 months. Also, there's been two test runs announced as well. So the first one's already out on the test run. I think it's Leeds or somewhere like that has the test run area, and that is for the U-96. So it's for the Submarine 96. It's already out in Germany, but the test is actually on right now. The website is already up. I've put the links to all that in my Facebook. So if you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. Go and sign it up. It's worth just signing up for it. You may get something out of it. In the past, I know some people in the past have gotten the voucher for doing the survey, and have also been given a free gift. So it's always worth just signing up and seeing what happens. But it's already out. Issue 1's already come out. It's been out at the newsagent. So if you come across it, have a little look. There's quite a lot in the first issue, I do believe, to do. But issue 1's already out. So that's the U-96. I think if you go to www.u96collections.com, I think that's the Hachette site for it. So yeah, that's coming out. Also as well, on the, I think it's, yeah, the 1st of February, we've got another test run coming out, which is the Batman figurine collection, the Batman figure build collection, if you know what I mean. So similar to the Alien build and the Terminator, they're doing a Batman from Batman Begins. They tested it in France last year. It's just come out in France. It's just started a full run in France. I think they're on issue 3 or 4 at the moment in France. But that comes out on a test run here on the 1st of February. All the details are on Facebook, so go and check it out. The website isn't up just yet because it doesn't go live. I think it actually goes. I think the website goes live tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm not entirely sure, but as soon as it goes live, I will post a link to that, so you can go and check that out. But if you haven't seen it, it looks pretty cool, and it complements the Tumblr quite well, because it's the Batman that goes with it. Obviously, it's a very big one, and I think it lights up. There's sound effects, phrases from the film. I think his gauntlets, little blades, little like things come out of his gauntlet and stuff like that. And I think he has a few gadgets on him, like the grappler gun and stuff like that. So yes, the Batman is on the French site at the minute. You can go and pick that up. I think it's, like I said, that's on issue 4. That's on a full run. So if you want to start building this, you can through the French sites. Or if the test run goes really well here, it'll be out next year, or a bit longer maybe, but this time next year, you know what I mean? At which point France will be sort of halfway through. But at the moment, how is it working is they seem to be finishing before they bring it out. So we may actually be finished. They may in France be finishing it, and we might be just finishing the Tumblr before it comes out, but we don't know yet. You can never say never when they do these test runs and stuff. As the Hogwarts Express is a perfect example of that. I'm still hoping that something comes of that, but I think it's the licensing that's sort of put a spanner in the works there. So, but that's all that. We'll talk about the fan home stuff in just a minute. Hi Neil, how's it going? Great. DXD released a DeLorean for the newsagents, and I got stuck in building it. Not a massive movie fan, but the pop culture element, it makes me like it. So I subscribed. Yeah. So it's out. I know. We'll come on to Fan Home with DeAgostini in just a minute, because obviously Fan Home have the builds. Well, actually they don't. DeAgostini does, but we'll come on that in just a second. Anything to be aware of with the DeLorean build? There's a few bits. There is a few bits to watch out on. The engine's one of them. The bands that they do for the engine, for like the alternator and the fan and all that, they get replaced later on in the build, but the first ones you get crumble away. I don't know whether they changed that. I don't know what gearbox you're getting, so it should be a manual gearbox, but most people got an automatic gearbox. That's if you're bothered by things like that. I wasn't. But try and get hold of some of the mods. That's what I would say, because there's some mods out for it and they're worth getting. Hi Peter, how's it going? I'm building that Batman from the French site. Well done, Scott. Yeah, you can. I've already set up a Facebook group for it, so if you're not in it, Scott, post all your progress in there. It'd be brilliant. I'm thinking of getting the first 4 issues just to have a look at it, because obviously I'm still hoping out that the Optimus Prime from DeAgostini comes out. I'm still hoping. There's still 2 months, so it could still pop up at any time. If it doesn't, I've got other stuff I'm building anyway. So I don't know about the Batman. Once I get the 4 issues here and I see it, obviously my wife Kirsty, she's a massive DC fan, so she might like it. But we'll see. We'll see. I think she would have preferred if it was like Joker or Harley, but but it is what it is. So DeLorean didn't get me started. Mods is your best. Yeah. Mark's just said it right there, because yeah, there is nightmare bits on it. You also need to watch out for attaching the wheels as well. There was a problem with attaching the wheels. I know some of them were not a big issue, but I know there was a few issues with it. But like I said, I don't know whether those have been found out now and have been corrected with it now coming out for a new supplier. I'm not entirely sure, but I know some of the stuff got corrected, and I don't know whether it's on the new build of it or not, but I'm hoping it does. Yeah, I'm not that keen in articulation for not that big on the movies, but we'll watch out for the issues. Yeah, definitely watch. There's loads of videos, loads of YouTubes that have built it and have come up on the problem. So it's worth just sitting there, having a little binge and have a look through it. You can also drop in there. Drop in there. Oh, there you go. See, Ian can sort you out as well with a Batman build if you want to go ahead with that. Hold on, Ian. I will. There you go. Well done. Yeah, I still got to sort that in because I think you're down as part work upgrades instead of Ian. I need to sort that. I should sort that. I will definitely sort that in. So yeah, if you want to check it out, the French site's already up. So if you want to go and check out the site, but like I said, within the next couple of days, the English site's going to drop. And then I don't think there is changes. There was a lot of changes made from the trial run in France to the full release here out in France. So they changed a lot of the facial plates for it and stuff like that. And some of the screws were changed as well. So some builds don't change anything when it comes from a test run to a full run. But the Batman figure, it definitely did, especially with the eyes. I know the eyes definitely changed. And like I said, some of the facial plates as well changed. Because the face is really bizarre. So it's in it's in plates, if you know what I mean. So the head isn't like, it's not a complete dome or anything. You put patches over it, but it's supposed to have a mask over it. You're not supposed to take it off. But it does look like a bit of a saw, a bit of a jigsaw head on it. It looks bizarre. It does look bizarre, but yeah. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for putting that in. Yeah, probably the problem's been fixed, and since it's a new release here in Hungary, we'll probably get the fixed ones. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I would imagine so. So yeah. Oh, hang on, what's happening here? No. Yeah, so there's that. Now, with Fanhome and DeAgostini, at the moment, Fanhome don't deliver to some countries around the world that had the Eaglemoss collection. It's down to licensing and stuff like that, I do believe. But I have been assured that people like in Spain and France, Italy haven't been forgotten. I did bring this issue up with a contact in Fanhome. Now I've got a contact there, and they said they are aware and something will be sorted, but it will be on the DeAgostini end, not through Fanhome. But you just have to hold on. I don't know whether it should be this year, but we're not entirely sure when. They still haven't. I mean, the deliveries don't start until March for people in the UK and the US, so we don't know yet. But I have been assured that they are working on it, and it will come out in the other countries that the Fanhome do not deliver to, and you'll be able to buy it through DeAgostini. Similar to what's happened in Hungary with the DeLorean build. So DeLorean build's on there at the minute, and you can go and subscribe to that and that way. But I don't know if you can start from any issue. But I know that they are working on it, and the Enterprise, all their builds that they got from Eaglemoss will be available eventually through DeAgostini. So you just have to wait along a little bit longer. So if you're in France, Spain, Italy, all those places that they don't deliver to, they will do eventually, but it'll be through DeAgostini, not Fanhome. Fanhome, by the way, hasn't acquired the licensing. It's DeAgostini that have. And they've done it because it's the pop culture stuff and film related. It all goes through their Fanhome sort of end. So, yeah, I hope that clears up a little bit for people. Build a Batman site was interesting. Yeah, it's one of those builds that a lot of people were asking, because obviously people, I know I get a lot of people are saying, Can't they do anything other than a car build? They wanted something a little bit else, more figurines. Well, this is it. This is a figure. So there's that. But yeah, it's an interesting build. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I don't know if I'm going to build it or not. So probably not, but I don't know. All good, thanks. Yeah. Yes, Peter, yeah. Robocop was fan home build, and it was released by DeAgostini here in Hungary. And we don't have fan home here. So whatever. Well, fan home was DeAgostini build. If it does come out, we haven't got confirmation yet, but the understanding is that it's going to come out through fan home. But at the moment, it's through DeAgostini in France and places like that. But it hasn't made its way here to the UK yet through fan home. There is rumours that it's going to be released through there, but I think at the moment they've got their hands pretty full at the moment with the Eaglemoss stuff. So I don't know about that. They might hold off bringing it out until it's finished in France, like they have done with the Alien. So yeah. Hilda. All good, Peter. I've got to have a nice day to build models. Yeah, you've got to have a good day to build models. Every day a good day to build. Yes, definitely. You've got to do something. Have you heard any news on when the French site will be stocking the Build Infinity Gauntlet? Do you know what? I'm really surprised it's not on there, because people have sent me pictures of it at the newsagents in France. So it's out, but I don't know why it's still not on there, Scott. It could. I really don't know. I'm really surprised actually it's not, because I think they're on like issue 10 now. But you may be able to still order that and use a forwarding service. So if you wanted to subscribe to it, you could probably use a forwarding service for that. So yeah, even though it doesn't, you can't get it delivered here, you might be able to get it delivered to a forwarding service somewhere else, and then they just forward it to you and set up a subscription that way. But yeah, I'm very, very surprised. Like I said, I have seen it on the cardboard, which they only do for newsagents. So I know it's been out. A picture is sent to me. So yeah, very, very surprised it's still not on there. And well, I'm obsessed with the activity here. Is that when they have a figure build, they do not release a new figure until it is finished. Same with the movie cars. The first finished the Dodge Charger. They first finished the Dodge Charger. Yeah, still building that. I think that's the problem as well. As a lot of these are facing that they're bringing out lots of builds, and people are now having to decide. Where years ago, you know, they didn't bring out as many, but now the sort of market is a little bit flooded with a lot of models. So, and we still got Agora. We've got the Optimus Prime build from Agora, and we've got some more builds like the 007 cars from them as well. So there's still a lot going on. Before the release, the same with Iron Man and R2-D2. Yeah, well, R2-D2 is a re-release, because that came out years and years ago through DeAgostini. Because I got that. I got the Millennium Falcon through DeAgostini. We got the Ford Mustang as well. Yeah, it's the Mustang, isn't it? Yeah, the Ford GT Mustang. Yeah, that was through DeAgostini. I remember building all of them before there was a fan home through DeAgostini. In the newsagents, you know, this is going back to when you could pick them up in the newsagents. But yeah, so there's that. So that's all going on at the minute. I don't. I know U96 has just been released now. I don't know. I think it's been released on a full run in Germany, and it's getting a trial run here. Obviously, it's a submarine build, but it looks really interesting because it will come on a proper stand. I believe it's like a wooden plaque that it sits on, and a lot of the panels come off. So you're building quite a lot of the interior of this model, which is really cool. I know they've got some interior bits for the Titanic, and they've had that with the Bismarck as well. But I mean, with this one, I think you can take off the torpedo bay, the bridge, the engine room, the sleeping quarters. So quite a lot of it comes apart, and you can see inside it. And I think that's really cool. But yeah, it comes on this. I think it's like a wooden plaque. It comes on, like the stand it sits on. I think that's part of the build as well. So yeah, really interesting build. But one that I wasn't expecting, and I don't think a lot of other people were as well. You've got to think as well that some builds, test runs that we've had here in the UK that just haven't come out, just haven't got past the test stage. So we had the Apollo lander that came out through DeAgostini. That looked like a really promising one. So I think you had the moon landscape, and then you built the Apollo module. That was one that never got past the test stage. I think the Saturn V was another one that they did in France that's never got past the test stage. We had the ISS, International Space Station, that they done a test run of, but never get past the test stage. We've also had the Star Destroyer. Now, I was led to believe that the Star Destroyer was going to be the next Star Wars model to come out. It might still be, but I don't know. But that one got tested a long time ago, along with the AT-AT as well. Then we've had the Hogwarts Express here. That was one that was tested, and we've not heard much more about it. Another one that was tested here was the Hogwarts Castle build, which I think is more aimed at kids, and it has the little figurines that are a bit out of scale with it. But I know that had a full release, but it had a test run here about a year or two ago. Still hasn't come out. We also had the Starsky and Hutch, so the Gran Torino. We had that on a test run here. That hasn't materialized over here. It did over in France, but not here. And we've also had the King Tiger tank as well, which was another build that Hachette test run last year. So it still might come out this year. But they tested that last year. And it was very similar to the Leopard tank that Agora did. So it comes with a remote control, a camera, smoke generator, all that sort of stuff. But it was just a King Tiger one. But like I said, that we've not heard any more about that. So yeah, some of these builds do not get past the test stage. So it's up to us to put our interest in, and then that will help some of the builds go forward. So, but yeah, only time will tell. I think only time will tell with a lot of these. I'm hoping some of these builds that I've said come out, because I was really interested in the Apollo lander, the ISS, and the Saturn V rocket as well. So I believe the Saturn V rocket was like, I think it was nearly 2 meters tall, sorry. So that's quite big. It was really big. We've done that one. We done that, didn't we? My R2D2 was the first release to 2. Yeah, it was a while ago now. It's a really good build, actually. I know that we had some problems with the projector. So in the magazine, you're supposed to push the test on it and get the 2 holograms, but it would only do the 1. And this was because the power wasn't powerful enough to do the 2. So DeAgostini sort of messed up, but they did replace a lot of them. I know that, and it did work in the end. So yeah, there was that. For you, 96 metal, wood, or plastic? It's die cast and plastic. But like I said, I think the base of it, so the sort of display base that it comes with, that you can display it on, I believe that's wood. But I believe the whole other thing is like die cast and plastic. It's the same size as the Bismarck, so it's huge. But like the old-fashioned ships that you'd see, in museums and stuff like that, they'd be on like a wooden plinth. So it's a wooden block with 2 poles going up. It's the same with this one. And I think you can power it, so it lights up, interior parts light up and everything. So, but yeah, there's a lot of interior. If you go and check it out, I think it's www.u96 96-collections.com. The website's up now, so you can put in, subscribe to it, do a survey, and have a little look at it. It looks promising, very promising. My next big build project is a 00 gauge layout around a scale Blackpool Pleasure Beach on 8-4 layout. Oh, okay, that's ambitious. I mean, the layout I want for my TT120 is ambitious. I'm just hoping I can pull it off, but we're still waiting. Fingers crossed it'll be in the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping that's when the set that I've ordered gets released, and then we can power through on that, because like I said, there's a lot to do on that, but it's not here yet. I'm itching to get started on that. So many Partwork models on the market, business must be booming. I think it was, but I've said this before many times now, that Partworks it's a niche market, a very niche market. And what's happening now is, years and years ago, you would get Partworks out. You probably, like, a Partwork company would release 2 or 3 Partworks a year. That changed, and they started releasing more. Then we've had like more companies turn up as well, Agora, IXO, and what's happening as well is, not only are you getting Partworks, new Partworks, but what you're doing is you're getting the older ones staying around as well, which never used to happen. So years ago, a Partwork would come out, you would get the parts, and then it would disappear, and you'd never see it ever again. Now they re-release it, or they just keep it as a full build, so you can buy it whenever you want, all the time, as a full build. So in terms of like how much is out, there's a lot out there. I think also as well, John, there was, I think lockdown played an important part for Partworks. So we're all locked in. We couldn't go out anywhere. We could get post and mail and stuff like that. And so what people were doing were finding these companies and doing the Partworks during lockdown, which I think kept everyone a little bit sane. So there was a little bit of a boom there, but there's been a bit of a boom anyway. But it's going to be interesting going forward, you know, with the cost of materials going up, you know, shipping, and you know, the cost of living going down as well. It's going to be an interesting time, that's for sure. Is the U-96 U-boat a re-release? It is, but it's on the similar pathing as the Titanic build. So the original Titanic build, which Eaglemoss did, which was wood, and which was all wood basically, wasn't it? Now originally that had come out as the wood version through Hachette. Now when they redid it as die cast and plastic, and much bigger. They did the similar thing with the Bismarck as well. So the Bismarck was a re-release that was done years ago, but upgraded when they re-released it with obviously die cast pieces and lights and sounds and stuff like that. And that's exactly what they've done with U-96. They've basically upgraded it. So they've gone in. It was wood before. It was all built wooden before. And I don't know what happened there. Something come up on the screen. Anyway, it was all wooden before, and now it's all die cast and plastic. A lot more solid, bigger as well. So it looks like what they're doing is they're going back to the old builds that they used to have and sort of tinkering with them to make them better, if that makes any sense. But yes, it is technically a re-release, but not of the same model. So a U-596, a U-96 U-boat has been out before, just not this version of it. This one's much better, if that makes sense. I have 2 roller coasters, a few other rides, kiosks, ready to build, loads of different leads and lighting. Spaghetti Junction. Yeah, I'm with my train set. I'm definitely going down the DCC route, which is a digital connection. I'm looking at the interface that they've got for the Bluetooth. So they've got this new Bluetooth technology. Well, it's not new, but new system that they're bringing out, which is the HM7000. And it means that there's going to be less wiring to do and less mucking about, because it'll all be, you'll be able to fit servos and stuff to the track and to the points and stuff, and just fit a Bluetooth decoder onto them. So there'll be not a lot of wiring to do. But yeah, I'm going to be building all that sort of stuff. I'm going to be building houses, pubs, all that sort of stuff with lights in them, and I'm going to show you how to do all of that, because it's a learning curve for me as well. So hopefully you'll see me muck up and then see me write it and everything else. Yeah, it's a learning curve for me too. So Neil, yeah, the link is on my Facebook page, but if someone, Mark or Jay, can you find the link and post it for me, because I can't do it from here, but it's on my Facebook. Just go up and sort of post it for me. If you can do that, that'd be brilliant. Thank you. But it is about Neil. If you check me out on Facebook, it's on there. I did post it a couple of days ago because it was a while ago. So, but it is there. Everything in my park will be RC. Cool. Yeah, I just want to get the track here, and then I want to start, you know, putting everything down. I want to start sorting it. That's for sure. But yeah, that's another thing that's coming up as well. I've been looking at some more locos as well, so I'm going to be getting some extra ones. But I just want it here now, because I just want to have a little play with it and muck about. So yeah. Hi John, how's it going? Lee, I should say. Hi Lee. Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, with the alien build, it's coming along. I know some people. There you go. Jay's got it right there. There it is. So that's the website for the U96. Take a look. It looks really interesting. If you're into like the military stuff, and you've done the Bismarck and you've done the Titanic, then it's definitely one for you to have a look at. That's for sure. It looks like a good build, but it was one that came out of the middle of nowhere. I didn't think that they were going to do this. It was a bit like when they'd done the King Tiger tank. So when they done the King Tiger tank, that was another one that just sort of cropped up out of the complete nowhere. And I was like, oh, I remember when I found out about it, 3 issues had already come out. I think it was when issue 4 came out is when I found out about it. So I don't find out about everything, but I do find out about some stuff. But not everything. But I do find out a lot. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, here's the progress. I'm going to be building the rest of this hand up. But much better on this hand, that's for sure. Obviously, it's a bit heavy-handed at the moment, as you can see. And yeah, there's magnets and all sorts, and it's like I said, it's a bit of a love-hate relationship, this build, but it does look good at the end. And I am building it up slowly, but I am determined to finish it. So by March, I'm hoping that it's finished. Just to say about new stuff. The problem is as well, Greg, they don't post this. So U96, I don't believe, is on their main page, because when they do a test run, it never appears on their main page. They sort of shift it away. It's really bizarre. So yeah, sometimes you have to find these collections to find out the web address. Otherwise, you will never find it. I probably need help. No, you're the same with us. No, we're the same. I don't check it that regularly, but I do check, you know, sort of the database for the news agents here to make sure things are coming out. Once again, nothing. Sometimes not everything is on that database. U96 isn't on there. So if I went to my news agents and asked them if they could order it for me, they won't be able to, but the Batman is. So they could order the Batman for me. if they wanted to. So it's a proper bizarre thing. I don't really know why it's like that, but it is. So, but yeah. Also, as well, discussions just cropped up in the Tumbler build. So, who is at the moment building the Batman Tumbler? Because obviously there's a discussion, a healthy discussion about. There's a healthy discussion at the moment about the windows and what should they be? Should they be black, or should they be like a bronze tinted colour? So some people said they should be black. I've found a lot of pictures from cars used on the set and from documentaries when they built it that actually it does have this sort of like sort of reflective material on it that looks bronze. So it's like a glass reflector, but in some lights it comes across as bronze colour, like a goldy colour. And so there's been a bit of a debate on the Facebook group tonight about that. Now I never started that. I always knew it was a different colour anyway. And you can check out, the making of the Batman movies. It's on YouTube. You can also check out when they had the movie car at Top Gear and when Jay Leno took it for a drive as well. And in certain shots and in certain times, you can actually see that it has this sort of bronze reflected material on the windows. And yeah, so I mentioned it in my video, and some people had already mentioned it before on the website, on the Facebook group, and and some people said it's not, it's black. Some people said, but it's how you represent that. The only reason as well as I pick it up is Ian over at Parkwell Upgrades has created a mod so you can have that bronze effect to it, which is really nice. Also as well, it sort of breaks it up. So there's a lot of like gold and bronze color on the car already near the wheels, the pistons and stuff like. And having it on the windscreen actually it breaks it all up. It makes it look really good. So yeah, and it created a bit of a, I should say, healthy debate. I'm trying to save up for a 700 size Airwolf RC helicopter fuselage for my big electric helicopter. Oh, wow. I'll have to see that. I tried to go to Tesco's for every small stuff. So I check their newsagent section. I'll come across the new stuff, but nothing much at the moment. They started the Fast and Furious car collection. Oh, yeah, the little car collection. Yeah, I think they're up to issue 40 over there. If that does come out, it will be out through Fan Home for the UK. But I don't know. It's one of those builds that will probably just pop up, a bit like the Marvel movie figurine collection that they've just started. That finished, by the way. That wasn't halfway through the collection at Fan Home at Eaglemoss. That had already finished. That had finished months and months ago. A year. I think it was about a year or two before Eaglemoss went under. That finished. But they've started it back up again. The problem I find with Fan Home is that you can't buy individual issues. It's a big issue because I would like some of the Star Wars ships that they do, some of the Naruto figures for my daughter, but not all of them. And I can't buy the individual ones I want. It's a pain. But that 143 collection, I only wanted a few cars, not all of them. Yeah, this is the thing. I was just saying it's bizarre because Fan Home doesn't have that ability. It's a shame. Building the Tumbler, not received issues 3 and 4 yet. The windows look great on issue 1. Yeah. On the front section, I think they are just tinted. I think it's the windscreen that has this sort of tint over them. It's like a bronzy tint. There's a load of pictures and a load of stuff on the Facebook group if you want to check that out, John. Yeah, it's like it's like a film, but it's not tinted glass. It's sort of like a reflected sort of, you can put it on windows and stuff like that, and obviously it reflects light and stuff. But in some angles, it looks bronze. It looks like a gold color. And they did that. I found out why they did it, because I'm quite a bit of a boff with that. So they put this special film on it, which is like you say, a protective sort of reflective film on the tinted glass. So when the stunt drivers were driving it, because in dark, if you shine a bright light in the dark on normal tinted, you can actually see through it. So that was a reflected that they put on. So when the stunt drivers were driving it, you couldn't see from any angle the stunt driver driving it, and it was done for that reason. But go and check it out. You know, like I said, there's a bit of a debate over if it's black, just tinted, or whether it's like got this sort of film over it. But yeah, interesting. Over here, it's only issue 2 that was at the newsagents, and subscribers received their first package. Right, okay. But yeah, I know. Also, as well, John, you should get issues 3 and 4, I do believe, when issue 4 comes out in the newsagents. So not next week, the week after, when I'm live again. Yeah, that's how they're doing it. It's a strange way. I know. Towards the end, you get 3 issues. Is it? You get 3 issues sent to you, and then after the 3 issues, you get 6, don't you? Because it's every 6 weeks you get them. After that, you get 6 issues every 6 weeks, which is bizarre. I know that they did put an email out not that long ago, actually, Hachette, asking people whether they wanted a full build or more issues each month or every so often. So obviously, it looks like they've taken on some of those things as well. It'd be interesting to see if they offer, you know, the Enterprise and the DeLorean and all that sort of stuff as a full build going forward. That'd be interesting afterwards, because I know they're trying to push a lot of stuff at the minute. They know that there's problems with it. They know that there's, you know, trying to get it to people, and people want to buy just the issues and finish off and all that. But the best, obviously, what they've done the best that they could do, and obviously they want to do more, but they want to be able to offer individual issues and everything else, but they just can't do it. I don't know why. You know, Eagle Moss did it, Hachette do it, so I don't know why. Maybe it's just more money and they don't want to do that, or what. But yeah, I think Fandom do lose a bit of custom like that. I mean, there is potential for them to sell more issues if you give people the ability to buy individual issues, if you know what I mean. Especially with things like the Star Wars bust, the Star Wars ships, the Naruto figures. What they did the Street Fighter figures as well, didn't they? Once again, I know some people that would want the whole collection, but I know a few people that would want just 1 or 2. And obviously that is potential sales that they're missing out on. So it is what it is. But yeah. This week I'm doing more Alien Build, obviously. There's loads coming out. There's obviously no Tumblr this week, because it's out every 2 weeks at the minute until issue 10, so May. So in May, it doubles up. I'm hope the Alien Build thing. I'm going to start the RoboCop up again, because I have gotten behind on that, so I do apologise. I'm still waiting patiently to find out what's happening with the Enterprise build. It's all there. It's all boxed up. It's ready to go. Just got to put down the number I need to start at and pay the money, and on off we go. The Dodge Charger. Now, the Dodge Charger is coming along really slowly, I find. This week's issue, if you've seen it, it was just the back quarter window. And I think my intro was longer than the actual build video was. It was that quick. So yeah, and the problem is I know next week I've got to do the same thing to the opposite side. So what I might start doing is doubling up on those videos if there isn't a lot to do in one of the issues. Just because I see it's a little bit dragging, I have to say. It is dragging. It looks good, and I know the end result will look awesome, but it is very much dragging at the minute. That is for sure. And then obviously we're only in the start of this year, but I'm hoping for more Star Trek figures and accessories. That's what I'm hoping for, and just more general reviews and stuff. I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff planned. Whether or not those plans come to fruition is another thing. But I'm hoping to go to a few places, see a few things, and the problem with me is I tend to go to these sort of places, and I get sucked in, and then I leave, and I'm like, man, I should have recorded that. I should have done some of that for the YouTube channel. And yeah, I've done that quite a few times. I've been to quite a few places, and I've gone, maybe I should have recorded that. But I sort of get sucked in and go, oh, what's this? And within like 2 hours, I've gone round everything, looked at him, and I've just forgotten. So yeah. You found the build fascinating. Is that fascinating? Frustrating. Do you know what? Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a love-hate relationship. It's one of those builds that looks really good when it's built. I remember, you know, during the Terminator build, I sound really old now, don't I? You've got the white hair to go with it. During the war, no, during the Terminator build, I do remember it sitting in parts for ages. I remember we had the legs, we had the arms, the head, and it was just all bits. And it was really frustrating trying to keep it all together. But then when you've done the pelvis, and then you started putting the arms on and clothes, it just all came together, and it was just so good. But yeah, they have stretched that out. But saying that, it is only 100 issues, and though they've stretched it, you do a lot of these builds. You kind of think, wow, they could have done it in lesser issues. But I'm quite happy that it's only 100. You know, the standard for a lot of these builds is what, 120, 130 now. So it's yeah, it's I like it. It's just 100, just like the Robocop. But once again, that's like the Iron Man build where you get one finger and a panel to stick on and stuff like that. So it does take a bit of time. Alien build, I found that it has 20 issues just on the tail. It does, yeah, because the tail comes in sections. And that was another thing as well. A lot of people didn't know how the tail was going to come together. So a lot of people thought the tail was going to be one piece, and that it was going to be movable. It's not movable, and it does come in sections. So I haven't got to that build yet, but when I order my next lot, I will be. So it's going to be interesting looking at all of that. But I have seen a lot of it. And yeah, it's really interesting because we start over in France. I think they're on issue 93, and they've started building the base. So it does come with a base similar to the Terminator, but I think the base is slightly bigger than that, and it's going to have sounds in it as well. I don't know if it's going to have lights, but it's going to have sound effects in it. But yeah, it looks like you get 1 or 2 sections in each issue. But we're all saying, even people on the French side was saying that, you know, they're only 6 weeks away from finishing it. 6 more issues and then they're finished, and there seems to still be a lot to do. And we found that out with the Terminator as well. I just remember it was coming closer and closer and closer to the end, and there just seemed to be a lot more to do. And it's like, how is this going to come together in that many issues? But it came together in the end. So yeah. Iron Man was the same, Kev. It looks great. Now it's finished. Yeah, yeah. And I think the Alien will be as well. I think a lot of people see, there's lots of glue, there's lots of magnets, there's not a lot of screwing involved. It's mainly plastic. There's hardly any die cast in it. Yada, yada, yada. I think once it's built and done, it will look absolutely fantastic. It will look awesome. You'll be so pleased. I know I will be so pleased once it's finished. It will just look, it will be the centerpiece. It will just look really, really good. But at the moment it doesn't, and it is a bit frustrating at times. But that is what's part of the Alien. It's part of the build, isn't it? It's part of the experience, isn't it? So, what is the magnet count for the Alien? I wouldn't like to know. There's a good. I would say there's a good 30 magnets just on one leg. So there's six. I would say there's 60 magnets just for each leg, and then there is. I've got some of the parts here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 10 on the lower part, and I think there's 8 on the upper part magnets. And remember, you're doubling that. So there's magnets in here, but you also have it on the skin as well. So I would say there is close to like probably more than 100 magnets on the whole thing, because obviously both sides have it. Then you have the pelvis, which once again is got the magnets on, and then the torso as well because of the skin. So anything that has the skin has the magnets on it. Now the magnets just hold it; they don't actually stick it. So what happens is when you stitch the hang on a second. Okay, it's easier to show you this. So there's all the magnets. Yeah. Now when you stick it on the arm, it just holds it. It doesn't. It's fairly strong, but not strong enough. But what happens is you can see, we have this line down here. It's on both sides. Can you see that? That little lip. That's called a stitching line. And on this side, we have little, don't know if you can make that out. There's like little grip holes there. And when you put it on with the magnets, and then what you do is you glue down the stitch line. So you sort of glue down this line here, and it just sort of comes together. And that is what actually holds it. It's not the magnets that hold it, it's the glue. And obviously that runs down the whole thing. And then you have the die cast, like ridge pieces here, that also hold the skin in as well. So the magnets just place it. It's just like a place. They don't really hold it because when you glue it, the skin is so tight that would hold it anyway. And it wouldn't slip on and off because the glue is so tight on there. But what I do is I run a little bit of glue around these bits as well, just to give it a little bit of extra hold. But my God, I've gone through. I use the glue pens, the super glue pens. I must have gone through. I've done the head, the right arm, the right leg. I'm doing the left arm at the moment. I've gone through 5 of them so far. That's how much glue. I think they're in monopoly with the glue companies because the amount of glue you use is mind-boggling. I'm annoyed with my Iron Man, as if you hold the upper body, the legs and waist ain't strong enough, and it comes apart. Yeah, Scott, you're in the same boat as a lot of people there. You're not in the boat alone on that one, Scott, because a lot of people, when they finished it in places like France and Germany and places like that, they had the same issue. But then again, it does come with a stand, but I don't know how good that stand is. But I know for a fact that a lot of people were having trouble standing it with the, but basically it was with the hips. So the hips were too loose when you put the legs on, and so the legs were like parting like this. They just couldn't hold it. But it was an issue that they cropped up, but only once it was fully built. But the response they got from D'Agostini was, that is why there is a stand provided. But some people didn't have that issue, but some people did. So you're not in the boat. You're not in the boat alone, should I say? A lot of people did have that same problem. With all those magnets, you would have to make sure nobody with a pacemaker gets too close. And do you know what? The magnets are really strong, and they're only little, but they're really strong. But they do just hold it. All they does is hold it there while you work on it. And then, obviously, like I said, you have things like you have a wrist section that holds it down anyway. You don't even put in magnets in that. That just holds it. It does all come together really good. And I've got to say, I'm impressed with the end result. But at the minute, it's just in bits and there's magnets everywhere. And yeah. Iron Man standard base is poor, but the premium base is very good. Oh, okay. I did see, I know, I think it's Building with the Boys. He had the premium base and he said it was oversized. And I know some people were complaining that it was a little bit too big. And I know it can light up and it looks good. But I know some people were complaining it was oversized. They're doing one for the RoboCop as well. I think if you go for the premium subscription on the RoboCop, if it comes out over here, but over in France, the premium subscription came with an extra base which lit up. But it does come with a standard base, just like the Iron Man does. But once again, I don't know how good that base is. But the RoboCop can stand perfectly. It's got a sort of a different leg mechanism. It's like a hook leg mechanism, and it's all die cast as well. So I don't know if that helps it. I don't know. I can't remember if the Iron Man was die cast one or not. But yeah, it depends on space, I think, with that, John, because the base is quite big, isn't it? So it comes down to space. And I know, like I said, I think Building with the Boys, I think Scott over Building with the Boys said the premium base was huge and they would have trouble placing it. So yeah, the Iron Man P base is very big and heavy. Yeah, yes. It's about placing it. I think it was just really big, and obviously it lights up, doesn't it? So you got the added feature of that. Hungary was the same for the RoboCop. Premium came with a light up OCP base stand. Yeah, it did. Yeah. But yeah, the thing is, it says you can have the base, but actually it comes with one anyway. So yeah, yeah, I'm off as well now, Peter. Yes, yeah, I think my wife is probably going to be wanting to watch that in just a second, aren't you? Call the midwife. Yeah. So look, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys so much for turning up. It's always great coming on here and talking and having a chat and just a little bit of a laugh. Mine's on the floor and it's die cast with plastic panels underneath. Yeah, it's I couldn't put it on the floor. I've got 2 dogs and they would sniff it and probably knock it over. I mean, though they probably wouldn't touch it, to be fair, but you never know. But anyway, look, I'm going to go. I will see you in 2 Sundays' time. And hopefully we'll have something to discuss going on. Those builds, those test runs that I said, the Use 96 and the Batman figure will still be out. So hopefully we'll have a bit of a look at them, so we can come on and discuss all that. But anyway, look, thank you for watching. As always, keep it safe, everyone. And as always, I'll see you at the next video, and we'll see you later.